Hey guys, Tesh here, and this is the little post-PAX vlog. Now I'm going to have two of these. I thought I'd only have one until I started going through all of my footage and found out just how much there was. So in fact, this is going to be the vlog section, and then tomorrow I'm going to be doing the games and what I thought of them, what I saw, how much I saw, that sort of things. I will mention the games in this, some, because it's based on events that happened in the vlogs and such. But otherwise, yeah. This is the vloggy stuff. Here we go. It all begins far too early and far too cold. This is gonna kill me. Through airport security without a hitch this time for once. Normally, that's the first time in a while I haven't been bomb scanned, I guess. Getting the beard trimmed was a good idea. Now I have a 40-minute wait before I leave for Brisbane. My flights have been moved, so I'm glad I came early. Both my flights are early. Not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but oh well, it's a thing. Now I'm gonna go find somewhere to have breakfast because I have not eaten yet. So that's a thing that must happen. Oh well, I'll find somewhere and I'll report to you guys. Actually, that's what I was doing first. I'm going to go through my gate. But yeah, learning to talk to yourself in public. It's interesting. But anyway, I will talk to you guys in a bit. Hey guys, back again. Sorry about not doing another one of these before I left Adelaide. I've landed in Brisbane. Had an interesting experience of the weigh-in. It was raining in Brisbane, but of course we were above the cloud line. So we went through, we were in the bright sun. And then we went through a cloud line into the rain. It looked really cool, it was really strange. Lots of turbulence on the way in as well. But yeah, so now I'm here, I'm just gonna go head to my gate, and then I'll see about checking in again if anything interesting happens. If not, I'll probably do a thing before I board. But yeah, I've got about an hour here before I need to board, and then like an hour before they actually take off, because it's international, they do a lot of extra stuff. So yeah, should be interesting. Arrived at the gate, within like literally walking up to it, I hear the boarding warning for my flight. So I caught the first train that I could, because you have to catch a train to this thing. I got there as fast as possible with a bunch of the other people who were transferring. We all basically arrived at the same time, so they cut this very close in the planning. So well. And now I'm gonna board. I don't know if you can hear me, but I arrived in LAX. Spent about an hour and a half in customs. It was a really long line. Turns out I didn't even need to take it. I could have used the digital sign-in because I went last year. They told me that when I was halfway through the line. At that point I was like, I don't want to risk it. Wow, it's humid here. And let's see if I can go to the right place this time, rather than last year where I walked around everywhere constantly. We'll see. I'll see if I actually make it to my gate. We can hope. I'm screwed. The answer is nope. We had to loop around the airport in the wrong direction in the ridiculously humid heat. That was fun. And then once again my laptop got checked at security. The guy who checked it has a theory that because it looks different from most laptops as a gaming laptop, that that's why people constantly have to check it. But oh well, I'm through now, and now I have like a 7-hour wait. I think it's only 6 hours now, I'm not sure. But yeah, fun times. Now I gotta find my gate. travel days done. It was a long trip. I finally decided, instead of, I'm not going to spend the night in the airport. This place was pretty cheap, and there's more of a story to go with that, but I'll explain that in a bit. I had some very interesting flight stories. Let's see if I can find a more comfortable place to do this. There we are. I had some very interesting flight stories. You see, first of all, I got sat next to, on my long haul flight, my 12-hour flight, sat next to this lovely old couple who were really nice, but turned their lights on all the time. And what was worse was the lights, my light activated the other side seat. The guy in the middle seat activated my light, her seat activated his light. And so we had to juggle about who was turning on which light. It was the weirdest and most annoying thing. I got no sleep on that flight. So yeah, that was landed in LA. You guys saw the bits and pieces of that, of my near-death experience in LA. And by that I mean my nearly falling asleep and missing my flight because I was so tired. I then crashed on my flight. But I did, however, meet a new friend on the flight who was awesome. She was sitting next to me. The guy next to her, it went me, her, and then another guy who basically was just straight-faced and ignored everything the entire flight. It was just, he was acting as if nothing else existed. I somehow managed to stave off jet lag till like 9:50 something, and now I'm basically gonna just pass out. So, today has been an awesome day, and even though it was just some of the worst played trips, the last one was awesome because I slept through most of it and then was talking for the rest of it. And yeah, now I'm going to pass the fuck out because I am so tired. I have been awake with little naps for I don't even know. More than 30 hours. A long while. With tiny little naps, because I didn't sleep at the long haul and I slept on the... So I slept for, let's say, an hour and a half on the Seattle flight. So, with an hour and a half sleep, I've been up for probably about 34 hours now. And I'm just ready to pass the fuck out. But, so excited for PAX. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Once day 2 came around, it was the actual day of moving to the hotel where we were actually staying. It was a lot better. I met up with Aurora in the morning. It was awesome finally meeting her in person. We went around, tried to find a place to eat. There's surprisingly very little places to eat in Seattle before 11 AM. So that was interesting. We did eventually find a place with ridiculously greasy sandwiches that were amazing but filled us up for basically the rest of the day. Then we eventually went back up to the airport to pick up Shadow, came back, eventually went up again to pick up True, came back. Then we decided, after about 5 trips back and forth on the light rail, which is how you get from the airport to the downtown, we decided that, in fact, Bryce could probably make his own way because we weren't going back to the airport. Sorry, Bryce. But when we met Patrick was literally sitting out front of our hotel, just sitting there with pizza. Because he was waiting for us to finally arrive. So that was awesome. So we got down to our room, we went downstairs, and we met up with someone Patrick knew, who I didn't realize I also knew of, because I'd actually missed out on a charity stream just before PAX, which I'd heard tons of things from, which was done by Miss Scarlett Tanager, who's awesome. But yeah, at that stage I hadn't actually met her before, so we go downstairs and there's just someone sitting in the lobby next to what looks like a mounted harp. And then she just picks up the harp and walks over. The rest of us who didn't know her thought she literally just picked up a harp off the thing that was like mounted there and brought it over to us. No, that was actually her harp, and she's amazingly good at playing it, considering she's self-taught as well. After meeting up with Wade, Molly, Dilo Ventuin, and a bunch of other people, we realized that the place we were going to, which was GameWorks, was a little full, so we actually broke off, went to Cheesecake Factory, which I actually didn't realize was a meal place. I thought it was only like desserts and such, because cheesecake. But no, it's a meal place. I actually got a glam burger, not a hamburger, a glam burger, which was awesome. Yeah, they had amazing food. I actually left my travel card there because I panicked while tipping. Because remember, Australians don't have the tipping. We tip into wages. So I just had this panic and left my travel card there and had to go back and get it the next day. But that was the first day, or day 0 of PAX, which was awesome. So day 1 of PAX, there was a ridiculous queue. We all got up pretty early except for Shadow. You will understand why I'm mentioning that later. We all got up and waited in this ridiculously long queue for about 2 hours. It was a long time. When we find out the line's finally moving, and Shadow had literally just rocked up as soon as like the line finally started moving, and she literally just walked in. So despite us waiting for a line in 2 hours, she got in before us. Meaning we had waited in line for 2 hours for literally nothing. Which was more than a little annoying. After we got inside, we started looking around the floor, had a quick pit stop at a store, had a look around that. We actually met up with Z, had a bit of a walk around with Z, as in Z Royal Viking, and had a look at some of the indie games there. We saw Butt Sniffin' Pugs, which was an interesting one. We saw Universe Sandbox 2, which looks awesome. We saw Ultimate Chicken Horse, which is very strange. It was about this time that I broke off to go do my own thing. I want to see the Bethesda booth, which was ridiculous. The Bethesda booth was amazing. Unfortunately, no gameplay. I'll get to that more when I talk about games tomorrow. But the booth was ridiculous. It had a big, I don't even know what it's called from Dishonored, the Dishonored trailer. We had this gigantic picture. Then there was a talking Mr. Handy, which was awesome. He berated the crowd and stuff.
Hello? Anyone? It's me, a lonely robot, desperate for some human affection. Any takers? Oh, I know what you're thinking. That Mr. Handy, he's got it all. Poise, confidence, intellect, sense of humor, hard steel chassis. And you're not wrong. When they meet me, they broke them all. Well, they didn't really break them all. There are thousands of Mr. Happy robots floating around. But what I mean to say is, I am unique and special and wonderful. But what good is all that if I don't have some humans to share it with? I may be perfect. Without you, can't be.
We had scale replicas of the power armor and a gigantic BFG, which was so cool to see. After that, I had a bit more of a look around the floor, met up with the others again. We stopped off to play, or rather, Aurora stopped off to play Resident Evil 0, which I have very little opinions on, but once again, talk about that tomorrow. Oh, then we decided to go upstairs to another more indie area, which had a ton of really cool games, one of which was Mecha Zoo, which by pure chance Aurora and I decided to play multiplayer of, which was a ton of fun. That was while Shadow was buying the loot crate, the PAX exclusive loot crate. We also saw Super Fight, and they are working on an online version of Super Fight, which people can vote for. I am very much looking forward to that. Went to see the Able Gamers booth, see Craig, and talk to him a bit about what's coming on in the future with regards to the stream that's soon. Oh, that's all I'll say now. And got a little Able Gamers sticker for my badge. That was where I met up with Wade, Molly, and all them again, which was also pretty awesome. After that, we broke off from Wade and Molly's group for a while, and we actually went downstairs, and Pat had to make a call outside, and while we were outside, we encountered a Dalek, but then immediately after encountered quite possibly the best Master Chief cosplay I have ever seen. It was a guy that stood like 6'1" in a full Master Chief costume, and it was amazing, and the Dalek and the Master Chief had a bit of a square off, and then they became friends. Oh, and there was a gigantic Dark Souls statue. Like, it was huge. It had black blood spewing from a corpse on the ground with a sword stabbed through it. And it was the coolest thing. It was right in the main lobby, and it was just so very cool. There was a bit of a Curse get-together party thing. It was the first time Curse had done something like this. It was like 90% business people. It was still cool. I was met up with Baron, Rick's Plays. I went with Shadow and Bryce, both of which are with Curse as is. And so that was interesting. But as I said, it was like 90% business people. We still had a good time. After that, we went back to our hotel room and played Cards Against Humanity for a very long time. Patrick started hurling cards at Scarlet, and it just devolved into everyone hurling cards at everyone. And although it was amusing how many cards seemed to orient themselves to hit Scarlet in the face, I feel a little sorry for her with that. She actually got a cut from one of them, which was amusing. Probably not to her, but you know.